Deep in the wilds, a man's cabin stands as a sanctuary until a smug HOA tyrant claims it's hers. Armed with fake surveys and ruthless harassment, she wants his land for profit. But when he fights back with proof and grit, a courtroom clash unfolds, secrets unravel, empires teeter. Will justice prevail, or will her threats linger? Dive into this tale of defiance and downfall that leaves you guessing. Tom Grady woke to the chatter of chickadees outside his cabin, the late September sun slanting through the pines of northern Minnesota. At 52, he had lived on these 10 acres near the Boundary Waters for 27 years. Logs he had felled himself, a tin roof he had patched through blizzards, a life carved from solitude. The lake glittered beyond his porch, a mirror to the wild piece he had bought cheap in 1998 off Old Man Kessler, a logger with no use for it. His hands, rough from axe work and past mill shifts, gripped a mug of black coffee as he scanned the stillness, until the mailbox clanked. He trudged down the gravel path, boots crunching frost-tipped grass, expecting a bill or junk. Instead, a crisp envelope waited. Pine Ridge Homeowners Association, stamped in bold. Inside, a letter. Notice of claim. HOA jurisdiction. Margaret Larson, president, claimed his land fell under her domain, his deed invalidated by updated surveys. Vacate within 30 days or remit dues and penalties. Tom's gut tightened. Pine Ridge was a mile south, a cluster of vacation mansions for rich weekenders, not his rugged patch. Margaret's name rang a bell. He had seen her in town, pearls gleaming, barking orders at the diner like she owned it. He stormed inside, yanking a dented metal box from under his bed. 1998 deed, zoning map, tax stubs, all yellowed but legit. The deed bore Kessler's scrawl, filed clean with Pine County. Margaret's letter smirked through its legalese. She thought he would fold, a loner with no fight. Next morning, he heard boots outside, 3 guys in orange vests, stakes and tape in hand, trampling his ferns. "Survey crew," one grunted as Tom charged out, camera flashing. "HOA says this is ours." "Like hell," Tom snapped, chasing them off. "My land, get gone!" They smirked, jamming a notice into his door. Cease occupancy 30 days. That night, his power cut. Fridge silent, lights dead. A lineman showed at dawn, shrugging. Unpermitted wiring, HOA flagged it. Tom's jaw ticked. Margaret's opening salvo. He drove his rattling pickup to the county recorder in Duluth, an hour through pine-choked roads. The clerk, a gray, curled woman named Doris, pored over his deed, filed 1998 clean as a whistle. But Margaret's survey, glossy, new, claimed overlap, dates tweaked. "Looks off," Doris muttered. Tom's blood ran hot, forgery. He pocketed his papers, resolve hardening. Back home, Margaret upped the ante. Violation notices sprouted on his fence. Unmaintained property. Illegal structures, each a jab at his cabin's rough edges. A condemnation order slid under his door, citing unsafe conditions, demanding he vacate or rebuild the code. Tom found a crack in her armor. Emails from a disgruntled HOA ex-member, slipped to him by a grizzled barfly at the Moose Jaw Tavern. "She's faking surveys," one read. "Developer sniffing, big payout." Greed, not rules, drove her. She rolled into view days later. Sleek SUV crunching as gravel, clipboard in hand, blonde hair swept back, pearls stark against her blazer. "Tom," she purred, voice syrupy with menace. "This would be easier if you complied. Your shack's a liability. Sell, or we'll take it." He crossed his arms, boots planted. "Deed says it's mine, 1998. You're bluffing." Her smirk widened. "Survey says otherwise. Court will sort it." She left, tires spitting dust, but her crew returned, snapping photos, peering through windows. Tom's temper flared. He nailed no trespassing signs to every tree. Town buzzed. Margaret at the diner, boasting to her HOA cronies. "Grady's a squatter. Land's ours." Locals split. Some sneered at Tom's hermit ways. Others muttered she had overreached. He dug deeper. finding his zoning map, his acres outside Pine Ridge's bounds. At the Moose Jaw, Kessler clapped his back. Sold you that fair. Her papers are horse shit. Tom hired Pete Callahan, ex-logger turned lawyer, lean and scrappy, office above the hardware store. She's got a city shark, Pete warned, but we've got truth. They filed a countersuit, fraud, harassment, serving Margaret on October 10th. Her empire twitched. Margaret retaliated. Tow truck idled near Tom's drive, repossession on her lips, blocked only by Pete's cease and desist. She rallied her board at a Pine Ridge meeting, voice ringing. Grady's a blight. We'll win. Tom watched from the back, unnoticed, her smugness a fuel. Notices piled. Fire hazard, encroachment, each a lie he photographed, piling ammo. Pete dug up more. A developer's letter, buried in HOA files, offering millions for his land. Her jackpot. October 20th loomed. Trial day at Pine County Courthouse. Tom barely slept. Cabin dark since the power cut. Lake, his only calm. Margaret strutted into town, SUV gleaming. Her board trailing. Vance Harrow, her Knoxville lawyer, at her side, pinstripes sharp. Tom met Pete at the courthouse steps, faded jacket swapped for a borrowed blazer, metal box under arm. She's blind with greed, Pete said, grinning. We'll gut her. Inside, the lobby hummed. Loggers in flannel, shopkeepers in coats, Pine Ridge folks in pressed slacks, all eyeing the clash. The courtroom smelled of wax and old wood. Gallery packed, standing room only. Judge Clara Evans took the bench, gray hair pulled tight, eyes piercing behind wire frames. Grady versus Pine Ridge HOA, she called, gavel sharp. Plaintiff first. Vance rose, sleek as oil. Tom Grady's a squatter, his deed's a relic. Our survey, filed 2024, proves his land's HOA property. He slid a glossy map across, crisp lines, dates bold, claiming Tom's 10 acres. Margaret sat prim, smirking, pearls catching the light. Tom gripped his box, pulse steady, her lie laid bare soon. Pete stood, wiry frame taut, voice rough. Grady's owned this since 1998, predates Pine Ridge by years. Her survey's forged. He slammed Tom's deed down, yellowed. Kessler's scrawl clear, then the zoning map. His land's outside their bounds. The gallery murmured, loggers nodded, HOA folks squirmed. And this, Pete tossed the emails. Her own guy brags about faking it for a developer's cash. Margaret's smirk flickered. Vance shot up. Hearsay, Your Honor. Evans peered at the stack. I'll allow it. Original speak. Proceed. Vance called a surveyor. Smug, young, tie too tight. Mapped it myself. Grady's land's ours. Measurements don't lie. Pete crossed, slow and sharp. Who paid you, Tyler? HOA, he muttered. And those dates? Match county records? Tyler's eyes darted. Close enough. Pete held up the zoning map. This says 1998, no overlap. You close enough to forgery? Evans tapped her pen, peering at Tyler. Answer straight, son. He stammered. I followed orders. Whose? Pete pressed. Hers. Tyler nodded at Margaret, sinking her deeper. Vance objected, leading, but Evans waved it off. Sit down, counsel. I'm listening. Tom watched, hands steady. The cabin's pine scent a lifeline amid the chaos. Margaret's polish, frayed. She scribbled notes to Vance, scrambling. Day one stretched. Pete called Doris, the county clerk, her gray curls bobbing, as she shuffled to the stand. Grady's deed's clean, filed 1998, taxes paid, she said, voice dry. That survey? She squinted at Margaret's glossy. Dates don't line up. County's got no record of changes. Vance crossed, smooth. Records get lost. Ours is current. Doris scowled. Not on my watch. The gallery chuckled. Margaret's neck flushed pink. Evans adjourned at dusk. 9 a.m. tomorrow. Bring your best. Tom drove home, lake dark. Margaret's SUV peeling out ahead, plotting or panicking. The Pine County Courthouse buzzed as Judge Clara Evans banged her gavel to resume the first day, late afternoon sun slanting through dusty windows. Tom Grady sat at the defendant's table, his borrowed blazer stiff on his shoulders, the metal box of proof at his feet. 1998 deed, zoning map, damning HOA emails. Across the aisle, Margaret Larson perched primly, pearls glinting. Her smugness, a thin veneer, as Pete Callahan laid out her fraud. The gallery, loggers, shopkeepers, Pine Ridge homeowners leaned in, the air thick with anticipation. Pete, wiry and unshaven, paced before Evans's bench, holding the surveyor's glossy map Margaret's team had flashed. "This," he said, voice gravelly, "claims Grady's land overlaps Pine Ridge, dated 2024, all neat. But here's the catch." He slapped Tom's zoning map beside it, yellowed and creased. 1998, county stamped. His 10 acres sit outside their bounds, free and clear. He pointed to the edges, Tom's plot a rugged square, Pine Ridge a mile south. Her survey's a lie, forged to steal what's his. Vance Harrow, Margaret's Knoxville lawyer, shot up, tie pristine. "Objection. Speculation, our survey's filed. Legal." Evans's gray eyes narrowed over her glasses. "Overruled. I've got eyes. Let's hear it out." Pete grinned, feral, tossing the emails next, printouts from an HOA insider, sloppy with bravado. "Surveys fixed. Developers got cash for Larson if we nab Grady's land." "Greed, Your Honor," Pete said. "She's not protecting values. She's chasing a payout." Margaret shifted, whispering to Vance, her smirk twitching. The gallery murmured. Kessler, the old logger, nodded from the back. Mrs. Klein, from the diner, clutched her purse. Vance called his surveyor again. Tyler Reese, about 20-something, sweat beading under his collar. "Mapped it myself," he said, voice tight. "Grady's land's ours. Measurements don't lie." Pete crossed, slow and sharp. "Who paid you, Tyler?" "HOA," he muttered. "And those dates? Match county records?" Tyler's eyes darted. "Close enough." Pete held up the zoning map. "This says 1998, no overlap. You close enough to forgery?" Evans tapped her pen, peering at Tyler. "Answer straight, son." He stammered. I followed orders." "Whose?" Pete pressed. "Hers." Tyler nodded at Margaret, sinking her deeper. Vance objected. "Hearsay." But Evans waved it off. "I'll allow it. Original speak." They watched, hands steady, the cabin's pine scent a lifeline amid the chaos. Margaret's polish frayed. She scribbled notes to Vance, scrambling. Friday dawned raw, frost thick on Tom's cabin windows. No power still, thanks to Margaret's unpermitted stunt. He ate cold oats, the trial's first day replaying. Pete's hits, Margaret's wobble. At the courthouse, the gallery swelled. Word had spread. Loggers in flannel jostling with Pine Ridge folks in pressed coats. Evans took the bench, gavel sharp. "Defendant's turn." Pete stood, sleeves rolled, calling old man Kessler, stooped, grizzled. The logger who had sold Tom the land. 10 acres. Cash deal. 1998, Kessler rasped, leaning on the stand. "Grady built that cabin, sweat and nails. No HOA then. Pine Ridge was woods." Pete handed him the zoning map. "This yours?" Kessler nodded. "County drew it. My sales marked." Vance crossed, smirking. "Memory's shaky after 27 years, huh?" Kessler glared, eyes like flint. "Paper don't lie, boy. Nor do I." The gallery rumbled, loggers clapped. Margaret's board squirmed. Tom took the stand next, blazer creaking, voice low but firm. "Bought it off Kessler. Lived there since. Cut every log, patched every leak. She's stealing it. Fence notices, power cut, tow trucks, my home." He met Evans' gaze, unblinking. Vance rose, photos in hand, peeling logs, sagging porch. "Safe? Up to code?" Tom's jaw ticked. "Stands through storms. Hers don't need to." Vance flashed the condemnation order. "HOA says hazard." Pete objected. "Based on her fraud." Evans nodded. "Sustained. Watch your step, counsel." Margaret testified, poised but tense, pearls stark. His land's ours. Survey proves it. I'm protecting Pine Ridge values. His shack's a blight. Pete crossed, slow. Forged that survey, didn't you? She stiffened. Mistakes, not fraud, my staff. Your staff? Pete cut in, waving the emails. This says you ordered it, for a developer's millions. Her eyes flashed. Lies! Evans leaned in. Tone it down, Ms. Larson. Evidence says otherwise. The gallery buzzed. Mrs. Klein whispered, She's cooked. Recess hit. Tom stepped outside, frost biting his knuckles. Margaret cornered him in the hall, voice low. Sell now, Tom. Court won't save you. He stared. Cabin's quiet in his bones. You picked the wrong fight, she sneered, heels clicking away. Back inside, Pete called an HOA defector, Lila, a wiry woman fired for asking questions. Margaret pushed that survey, said Grady's out, cash is in, she testified. Vance flailed. Disgruntled employee, Lila smirked. Truth ain't disgruntled. Evans scribbled, adjourning. Monday, final round. The weekend crawled, Tom at his cabin, powerless but defiant. Nailing boards over broken windows, Margaret's inspectors had cracked. Lake wind howled. He found a note slipped under his door, her scrawl. Last chance, quit. He burned it in the stove, embers flaring. Town hummed. Moose Jaw Tavern split. Loggers toasting Tom. Pine Ridge folks muttering Margaret's ruin. Pete called. She's slipping. Monday's ours. Tom nodded, sleepless, the gavels echo near. Monday, October 23rd. The courthouse brimmed, gallery packed, air electric. Evans swept in. Tom's originals, deed, map, emails under her arm. Final arguments, she said, voice steel. Vance rose, smooth but strained. Grady's a squatter. Our survey's filed. He's a risk. Pine Ridge needs order. Margaret nodded, pearls tight, but her eyes darted, cracks showing. Pete stood, fierce. She forged it all. Survey, notices, lies. Grady's deeds 1998, rock solid. Emails prove her greed. Developers cash, not values. She harassed him. Power cuts, tow trucks. This ain't order. It's theft. He slapped the papers down. Truth wins. The gallery held its breath. Kessler grinned. Lila nodded. Evans flipped through, then fixed Margaret. Explain this forgery. Dates don't match. Emails condemn you. Margaret stood, trembling. Clerical errors, my staff overreached, Vance chimed. No intent. Evans cut through. Errors don't write, fixed it for cash. Claims dismissed. Grady's land stays his. This, she tapped the emails, goes to the DA. Fraud's a crime. Margaret's jaw dropped, speechless. Vance slumped. Cheers erupted. Loggers roared. Pine Ridge folks gaped. Tom exhaled. Cabin safe. Thank you all for watching this video. Please comment and let me know what you think about this story. Please like and subscribe to watch more great content on my channel.